Hey everybody, it's the War Gaming Guy. Welcome to something a little bit different here today. And first of all, I thought I turned that down. It still sounds really loud in my ears. I'm just gonna, get rid of it because let's just try this. This is a game I just heard about. Now, how I heard about this and what this is all about is what I want to tell you before we jump in. And this is a first look. What are first look videos? First look videos are me not knowing anything about the game and jumping in to show you just what happens kind of live. You get to experience it along with me. If you're looking for a tutorial on this game, if you're looking for someone that knows what he's doing playing this game, this is not the video. So please don't send me messages saying, well, you just learned how to play the game first. That's what this is about. It's about discovering it together. All right. I saw a game, a video this morning on YouTube, LV, L, yeah, gaming video. It's called the Top 5 Forgotten War Games. I think it's LT Gaming, actually. Top 8 Forgotten War Games to play in 2024. And one of them just so happens to be the game that you're staring at now. Um, now, this is an interesting little game, but what really got my attention was the designer, which you see right over here, Mark Herman. Now, if you know much about board games, paper, cardboard type war games, which is what I started on many moons ago, the name Mark Herman will probably ring a bell. Mark's a prolific game designer. He's designed, I don't know, probably hundreds of games. And most of them are really, excellent. He's won many awards for his game designs, Charles Roberts Awards several times, and other awards. He worked with some of the groundbreaking people at SPI, like James F. Dunnigan and Richard Berg and all that kind of stuff. And he's done so many different games. It's amazing. So when I heard that this was a game of his, I wanted to take a look at it. Plus, it's a Gettysburg game, so who knew? And I had never knew this was out, and I did not know he designed any computer war games at all. So that I found really interesting. So that's what we're going to look at. So let's take a look over here. As you can see, it's pretty simple. But let's look at how to play. And we'll just go through it. Printed rules, UI basics. Oh boy, look at all this. See? This is a guy that knows what you need to know. Shows the location of the most commonly used interface elements during the game. So we got game charts, the game menu. Yeah, rule advisor. That's interesting. I don't really know what that is, but I guess we'll find out. Player prompt, like what you got to do next. Artillery support. That's nice. Score and turn track. Okay. Do I just click on this to move on, or is that the whole thing? I believe that's the whole thing. Yep. 3 ways to move the map: the WASD keys, right click and drag, position your mouse over the map, press the right, yeah, okay, position the mouse over the red reticle in the mini map, and you can jump there. You can zoom in and out using your mouse wheel or the plus and minus keys. Excellent. See how simple this is? This is a man that knows how to lay things out simply, which I like a lot. Okay, the image above shows the unit Heth about to move. To move it, click on it to select it. You'll see a set of highlighted hexes that indicate valid destinations. Click one of those hexes to move the unit. You can continue clicking hexes for as long as the unit has movement points to remain. When done, click the end move. Okay, so this is the guy we're talking about here. Or can we actually do this? No. Okay, it just shows that. It doesn't actually let you do it. It's kind of what I thought, but too bad. Okay, bringing reinforcements on. They're positioned adjacent to the hex, like right there. So it's pretty obviously you just click and move them on. Attacking. When it's your turn to attack, click the unit you wish to be your attacking unit and the enemy unit you wish to attack. Then click the attack button. It's pretty simple. If you don't wish to attack, then click the pass button. See the full rules for an explanation of passing during an attack phase. So there is a little more complicated than that. Oh, this is maybe the rule thing here. When you click the question mark button, the button next to the player prompt to display an overview of the rules in effect for the current state of the game. For full rules, see the C3I magazine Gettysburg Game, originally published in issue 32. Oh. So this is the digital version of an actual physical war game. Very interesting. Didn't know that either. Reinforcements and blown units displayed. You can see what units are scheduled to come on as reinforcements, as well as any blown units. I'm assuming they're like tired and they're catching their breath. Is what that means. Let's just stay with that. You can blown units are due to return by holding your mouse over the circles on the turn track. As soon as you move your mouse away from the circle, the reinforcements display will disappear. Okay, so you like put it over that, and that pops up. Prompt area. Prompt area displays instructions about what actions you should take in the game. Depending on the action needed, one or more buttons may also be present. Undo buttons are typically used for movement and can be pressed more than once to return a unit to its original position if necessary. Artillery support track. The artillery support track displays the number of artillery support points remaining for each player. Typically, calling for artillery support uses 1 point. But if your opponent calls for RD support and rolls a 6 in the artillery duel, you will lose an additional artillery support point. Wait a minute. Calling for artillery uses 1 point if you're... Okay. And finally, the mini-map, and we all know what a mini-map is. So that's that. We're done. So, what are the tutorials? Your first turn, movement and the basics of combat. Second turn, withdrawals and more combat. Third turn, sharpshooters and entry hexes. Okay, we can do this. Aha! Welcome to RBM Studios Gettysburg tutorial. Walk you through your first complete turn as the Confederate and Union players. During this tutorial, you will be tasked with completing certain commands or may be presented with some rules explanations relevant to where you are in the game turn. This window can be repositioned by dragging it to another location on the game screen, and then releasing it. Click the continue button now, and let's get started. Well, let's just put you right here for now. All right, placing unit HQ markers. Each turn begins with players placing their HQ markers. Each HQ marker is arranged in hexes displayed on the marker. I'm assuming that's that 6. Let's zoom in. There we go. 4 for Heth, 6 for Buford. Try placing the Confederate HQ marker in hex 1202, which would be right there. Okay. No, Lee popped up. Why did that happen? That's a little weird. I didn't know Lee was here. What? Okay, well, this is fun. Try placing the Confederate HQ marker. Okay. Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, now you're being asked to place the Union HQ marker. In solo play, you will alternately assume the role of each general. Blah, blah, blah. Select the hex 1606, which is that one. Okay, that's what happens. And confirm your selection. Okay, so that's the first tutorial. Aha, he moved. We had lots of people moving here. This tutorial will walk you through the most of your second game turn. Okay, you begin by placing. The turn begins. Gosh, if I could read, I'd be so happy. The turn begins as every other with HQ placement. So click continue to below to get started. Place your HQ markers. Just like in the last turn, the Confederate HQ gets placed first. Who is this? It's Lee, but I don't know what the numbers in Army of Northern Virginia. Weird. It just looks weird. Okay, we did that. Now we're going to put you here. So we did that. Unit Howard marching. Okay, as you placed your Union HQ, you may notice the message about Howard returning to march formation. After HQs are placed, any units that are in battle formation but aren't in an enemy's unit of zone of control, 2 hexes away, are automatically flipped back to the march mode. Oh, interesting. So that's like the fighting mode. Yeah, the graphics here are not great. Let's just be honest, but they do appear to be functional. There's only one way for a unit to return to march formation. This is the only way, and it restores the higher number of movement points and the benefits of road movement that are lost in battle formation. All eligible units are flipped at the same time, and any units that were in march formation but that are now in an enemy zone of influence are flipped to battle formation. Click Continue to proceed to learn about exiting enemy zones of control. Am I missing something here? I don't see a continues. Aha, I put it down there too far. Well, there you go. Okay, after formation changes beginning, Confederate player or unit that is in an enemy ZOC can attempt to withdraw. Withdraw follows the same rules as combat retreat, which I know nothing of, with the additional requirement that each unit moved must be further away from all enemy units the withdrawing unit was in the zone of control at the start. In this tutorial, Heth is eligible to withdraw. Click Heth, then withdraw the unit to hex 1202. Just as in a retreat, you can end the withdrawal early in the second hex because it is a defensible hex. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Now that you've clicked the End Withdrawal button, withdrawal is complete. Now that all possible withdrawals are completed, the game will move on to the Confederate move phase. Had there been multiple units able to withdraw, the player would have alternated until one passed, and then the other would have allowed up to 3 unit withdrawals. Press Continue to begin the movement phase of the game. Let's try more advanced combat this turn. Bring a Confederate, let's try any combat. Bring a Confederate unit, Pender, onto the board and move him to hex 1201. We're going to try to surround Buford to demonstrate how flanking bonuses work during the attacks. Follow the hexes with the red outlines. Okay, there's Pender. Hello. And they want him in 1201. Oh. Which is up here. Do I have to do this? Here, now you're in the way. Okay, I've got Pender. Do I drag him? No. He doesn't seem to want to go to 1202, but okay. 1201. We got him there. That was weird. He had to come in on the road. Confirm the move by clicking the End Move button. Okay. Confederates are starting to bring more reinforcements than we have to match with, so it's important to get our units on the board as quickly as possible. Bring Sickles onto hex 1809. Remember that you can move quickly to another area of the map by clicking the mini-map. Yeah, so is this Sickles? It is. Here, go over here. Okay, Sickles. What if I just do this? I wish I could just do that, but I can't. Okay. Oh, wait, there's more. By the way, the arrow keys work just... Oh, good Lord. All right. 18. Oh, yeah, they want me to go all the way up here. Okay, end move. Okay, they're moving up. Let's skip ahead a few moves to start the combat phase of the tutorial. You'll see the Confederates have 3 units around Buford. Yeah, they do. How they got there is a mystery, but we don't know. Anytime there are 3 or more units around the defender, the attacker receives a flanking bonus of +1. Press continue to begin the combat portion of this tutorial. The flanking attacks for this portion, you may need to drag this window to the right side of the screen so that you can see the attacker's modifiers window. As the Confederates, we want to attack Buford. Choose Heth as the attacking unit and Buford as the defender. Okay, Heth, Buford. Aha. And now we got the attack modifiers over here. You'll see the attack modifiers window that the attacking Buford suffers from a -2 modifier because Buford is in defensible terrain. You should also notice that he has a -1 modifier because of Buford's star. In Gettysburg, stars represent more capable units, and each star adds +1 to the unit's combat die roll. From the attacking unit's perspective, Buford's star causes a -1 modifier. Click continue. Okay, so it's all right there. That's kind of nice. Lays it out nicely. They got a combat results table as well. Yeah, doesn't look great. So let's see. Make sure you still have Heth and Buford selected as the attacking and defending units. I do. Notice there's a +1 modifier for flanking Buford in Gettysburg. If they're to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, did I thought. Wait. Okay, yeah. Net modifier for the attack is -2, which normally wouldn't be wise, but because Buford is a cavalry unit, he won't be able to call for artillery support, so the Confederates will gain +2 for the artillery superiority if they choose it, which they should. Once you are satisfied that you understand the attack modifiers window, proceed by clicking the attack button. Sure. Not really, but whatever. Clicking the attack button. Have the Confederates choose artillery. Do the Confederates want artillery support? Yeah, sure we do. Cavalry cannot request artillery support. Boom. After action report, it's laying out artillery support. No. Okay. Lays it all out nice and slow. Here's the die roll, 6 and a 3. Effective roll is 9 and 0. Advance result blown. So the result of this attack is blown. Blown units are removed from the board but can be brought back into the game in 2 turns by placing them next to the player's HQ unit, providing they are not in zones of control or zone of influence of any enemy units. Click continue to learn more about returning blown units. I'm just going to say okay. Each player can return up to 2 previously blown units each turn. If a player has more than 2 blown units that are due to return, their opponent will be able to eliminate any blown units returning beyond the 2 maximum. So up to 2, but no more than. Eliminated units are permanently removed from the game. Each unit eliminated grants your opponent a game point. Units which are blown in turns 5 and 6 will never be returned, so those units are instead eliminated immediately with the same effect on the score. Click continue, and we'll give the Union player a chance to respond. Let's give the Union player a chance to respond. Click Reynolds as the attacker and Anderson as the defender. Notice that because of his stars, Reynolds receives a +2 bonus, while Anderson receives no bonuses by virtue of being in open terrain. The net attack modifier is +2, so it will be critical for Anderson to call for artillery support. Since the Confederates begin the game with less artillery support available, it's to the Union's advantage to force them to use it as quickly as possible. Aha, okay. Once you have the correct units chosen, click the attack button. Have both sides choose artillery support. Yes and yes. Bam. Look closely at the after-action report. You'll notice the Confederates won the artillery duel by rolling 6 compared to the Union's 3, but what's possibly more significant is that they received an exploding caissons result. Anytime there's an artillery duel, if your side rolls a 6, they take 1 additional artillery support point from your opponent. For this engagement, that means the Union lost 2 artillery support points versus the Confederates' use of 1, helping the Confederates reduce the Union's artillery superiority. You'll also notice that the die rolls result in a tie. After all the modifiers were applied, resulting in a stalemate, neither side has to retreat or is otherwise affected, but the Confederates should consider this one a win because of the exploding Confederates' caisson. Whew. Okay, click continue. Tutorial recap. In this tutorial, we've covered withdrawing from any zones of controls, flanking attacks, blown and eliminated. You should have a pretty good understanding of the rules at this point. I love the optimism there. There are a few more advanced topics we'll cover in the final tutorial, but at this point, you should be able to play a full game on your own. If you get stuck or aren't sure about the rule, remember that the printed rules are available under How to Play. Okay, so let's continue. And let's just, why not, do these. And I am pretty sure you're not supposed to be here. Welcome back. It's Mr. Cotter. Okay, we're going to go over some more advanced rules. Blah, blah, blah. Always remember the complete printed rules. Yes, we know. Okay, so let's continue. Placing the HQ markers. Place the Confederate marker at 1207. And the Union HQ at 1606. Which it is. Okay. I see. Now, before I do anything else, try hovering over the Confederates and the Union HQ markers. Yeah. Yeah. You should see a range of highlighted hexes represented the effective range of each marker. Oh, I see. Yeah, because like he doesn't reach up there. Let's just, yeah, whoa, we're way out. Okay, there we go. Holy smokes. Lee covers almost everything. He doesn't cover quite as much, but an awful lot. Okay. Remember that a unit may not retreat if it's outside of its HQ, and it would not retreat into a hex that would take it outside its HQ's range. Go ahead and click pass for both as the Confederate and Union withdrawals. Yes. Pass. Yes. You'll note that Reynolds is at hex 10,003, which is the entry hex for some of the Confederate reinforcements arriving this turn. Units cannot deliberately block entry hexes for incoming reinforcements, so the Union player is being forced to retreat Reynolds from hex 10,000, or well, 1,003, if I can even do math. If a unit's blocking the entry hex and is unable to retreat for whatever reason, that unit is instead treated as a blown unit. So no gamey blocking the entrance hexes. For this tutorial, retreat Reynolds to 1202. Really? Retreat, wait. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong guy. I was wondering why they were popping up here. All right, Reynolds, come on. There we go. And confirm this by clicking End Retreat. Reynolds is not at a good spot. As you play, you must remember that units that are blocking reinforcements must retreat. If they cannot, they will be blown. You can always check to see what reinforcements are coming this turn and at what location by holding your mouse over the circular icons in the turn track at the lower right. This will show you both reinforcements and blown units will be returned. Click Continue below. We'll introduce the new type of marker, Berdan's Sharpshooters. Berdan's Sharpshooters are only available to the Union player and only from turn 3 onward. Okay. Sharpshooters have several unique qualities. They can never move, but are placed after HQ markers at the beginning of a turn. They cannot be attacked, nor can they attack an enemy unit. Okay. They only exert a zone of control in the hex they're currently in, and they have no zone of influence extending out of that. Other units, both enemy and friendly, can occupy the same hex. as Burden's sharpshooters, but an enemy unit will not be able to move away since that unit would be in the sharpshooter zone of control. We've set up a turn 3 scenario to explore this marker. Click the Continue button below to see more details. Okay. We're now in turn 3. The Union player, it's a bit of a tight spot here. The Confederates have nearly opened up a road through Gettysburg and to the Union reinforcement entry hexes. While the Union could dedicate a unit to cover each route, it would be preferable to have those units continue to fight. Burden's sharpshooters can carry some of that load for the Union by being placed in one of the road hexes. They must be placed in a friendly unit's zone of control. Enemy unit zones of controls have no effect on their placement. Click Continue, and we'll see what we do here. We'd like for the sharpshooters to cover one of the roads that potentially gives the Confederates a victory. The Union has a reinforcement hex coming into Taneytown, so let's place this sharpshooter in hex 1901. To place the marker, click the hex, then click place the sharpshooter. Okay. It did say 1901, right? 1909. Well, that would be a little different. That makes sense because that is within the zone of control. There we go. Jeez, sorry. It helps if you can read. Let's learn how to return blown units. Probably going to have to move you, aren't we? I think. Yep. HQ markers have been placed, so at this point in the game turn, up to 2 units that were blown 2 turns previously can be returned to the game board. Units that are returned to the hexes adjacent to an HQ marker, but the hex must be completely empty and cannot be in a zone of control or a zone of influence of an enemy unit. Available units are displayed in the blown units window and can be returned by first selecting the unit and then clicking a valid hex. Notice the blown units window can be moved around the screen by dragging if needed. Go ahead and return unit roads to a hex of your choice adjacent to the Confederate HQ, which is right there. Okay, roads. I'm going to put you right here. Boom. Now it's the Union player's turn. Players have only allowed to return 2 units, and the Union has 3. That's not good. As a result, Confederate player now gets to choose. And, of course, the ones that are left over are dead. So go ahead and choose a unit to eliminate, then click the Eliminate Unit. Well, dang. Now, am I going to eliminate Buford, who was, I mean, historically, that would probably be right because they had pretty much withdrawn, or pretty quickly anyway. I can't. And, of course, Sickles was part of the whole thing, so. But I hate to do Buford. That sucks. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to be. Yeah. Let's just get rid of Sickles. All right. You may have noticed that the unit was eliminated. The Confederate score increased to 1. Actually, I didn't notice that. Anytime that a unit is eliminated, the scores increase. Click Continue to proceed with returning the remaining units, Union blown units. Yes, okay. Now we can return them. And so we're going to put Buford here. And Reynolds is going to go here. That was probably a dumb choice, I know. This completes this tutorial. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so there you go. That's the tutorials and the how to play. What I'm not sure about is, I'm assuming it says play solo, so I'm assuming it has an AI. I actually don't know. Let's find out. Okay, yeah, we can play either one. That's interesting. You can also be an observer mode loops. I'm not sure what that means. Let's find out. Oh, so you get to like watch it. I don't know how we get out of this, but I'll figure it out in a minute. Let's just watch this for a second. We know most of the fighting, of course, early on takes place up here. And here they come. Yeah, even the AI moves them one hex at a time. Phone call that I'll get to in a second. Once this video's over. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of how the game develops, I guess, as you go along. If you're starting the game using more or less historical tactics. All right. So there it is. Now this game on Steam costs you $4.99. $4.99, people. Come on. That's like crazy cheap for a Gettysburg game. And I don't know about you, but I think this would be cool if they would do more of these, because we don't get many Civil War games around in the computerized world of wargaming. At any rate, there's tons of them for board games. So maybe if we all drop by the Steam link, which will be in your notes, I'll have a link to it, you could help them actually feel successful and make more. And you might have fun doing this. Now, I am going to follow this up and play through this, so stay tuned for that. But, just a thought. Just a thought. So here's an after action on the artillery. Sickles and Early. Let's just see how this goes, and then we'll knock it off. So Sickles has to retreat. Okay, so I'm going to assume, yeah, you just hit escape, and then you can get out of it. Let's just surrender and see what happens. Do they do a little screen for you, or maybe not? How about if we just exit the game? No, stay in the game. How about... Oh. There. Yeah. There we go. We're back to the beginning. Okay, that's going to do it for a first look. I don't want to get any deeper because I want to actually play the game, from the start and give us a decent bit of time to do that. So this has just been your first look. Please check this out. Consider supporting them and Mark Herman, who's designed so many great games. Hey, let's give him a little support there. And until next time, this is the Wargaming Guy. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you later.